Alright, welcome back to another episode of Umineko no Nakakoro ni. Last time we had the epitaph. So let's hop right in. So on the 10th twilight, the journey shall end, and you reach the Golden Land. You really are diligent, Maria. You did a good job taking notes on all this.
Ooh, I forget a lot, so I write things down. Write it down like Mama said.
There was a notebook inside the handbag Mario was always carrying around, and Beatrice's epitaph was copied onto it. Thanks to that, we were able to challenge the puzzle of the epitaph while on the beach. For Jessica and the others, this was a puzzle they'd already tried to solve several times, and they'd gotten bored with it. But it was a first for me, so I was excited and couldn't stop. It really tickled my male sense of romance. Alright, let's start with the first line. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved home of old. Where was grandfather's old home again? I heard before the war the Ushiramiya family had the mansion near Odawara. So, that said, you'd want to know about the sweet fish river that flows through Odawara, right? Yeah, because that's the river's starting point, right? And then it's got, you who seek the Golden Land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. What rivers are in Odawara? It's gotta be one with sweet fish, right? For a sweet fish in Odawara, that would be Hayakawa. It's famous for its mountain stream fishing. Ooh, I hate fish. Oh, you'll get it when you're older. You'll be all salty roasted fish. Yummy. Even though we just ate, I'm getting hungry again. Shall I bring you some biscuits? What? No, sorry. That's not what I meant. Don't mind me. Shannon, who didn't have any afternoon chores for a while, was faithfully keeping us company. I would have thought that, as a servant, accompanying us would force her to take care of us and tire her out. But it seemed that wasn't the case. To the contrary, it seemed she was having fun joining in on the conversation with people of a similar age. When I asked, she told me that she was a live-in worker. So, normally the only person close in age to her is Jessica. I get it. That must be pretty wearisome. Alright, so I get the sweet fish-filled river near Odawara's Hayakawa. In that case, we just have to go down it. Do you find anything if you head down to Hayakawa?
If you follow it downstream, you arrive at the ocean.
Of course you'd reach the mouth of the river. And the third line of the epitaph was, as you travel down it, you'll see a village. By the way, since long ago, the mouths of rivers have generally been key points for transportation, and large cities tend to be built there. That would be the next checkpoint.
That's a pretty good theory. Just like you imagined, in ancient times, there was a very prosperous old city there. That's where Odawara Castle is. Oh, I think I might have gone to Odawara Castle on a field trip once. It really was a wonderful castle.
Yeah, I went there too. Even though I live in a Western-style house, it sure is true Japanese people feel calmer in the Japanese style.
Ooh, I think castles are boring. Theme parks are better. Ooh.
I see. Alright. If we find the gold, the great Bathasama will generously reserve a whole theme park for a day and let you play all you want. Still, Odawara Castle. The hidden gold of Odawara Castle. Oh, it kinda has the right ring to it, don't you think? Well, we figured that much out when we tried this over 2 years ago. The village down the river where the sweet fish swim is Odawara. We figured it was probably somewhere near Odawara Castle. The problem is the next line. Alright, let's see where your strange reasoning can take you. Jessica grinned broadly. It was like she was saying that, if the puzzle could be solved so easily, she would have found it long ago. Damn it. I'll definitely find it and keep it all for myself. Alright, that fourth line. In that village, look for the shore the two speak of. I don't know what it means by the two, but anyway, that's shore. What does it mean by shore? Huh. Is there any place near there with a shore in its name?
I heard there's a place called Sogekishi in Odawara.
What? Wow, you know a lot. So, what does that mean? Shannon, are you after the gold and trying to solve the riddle? That makes us rivals.
It's not like I'm interested in the gold. It's just George told me about it before.
That's because we reached the same conclusion 2 years ago. We even went and laid out a map and looked it up.
It was about 5 kilometers to the north of Odawara Castle. There certainly was a place called Sogakishi. But after that we got stuck. The 5th line doesn't say where the key's hidden in that place. Maria, could you read it for us? Ooh. There, the key to the Golden Land sleeps. Ooh, I read it.
Sogakishi's probably large, and there wasn't ever any house built there by the Ushimiya family. With no hint to where the key's hidden in that huge area, we pretty much have to throw in the towel. You're right. And without the key, we can't advance to the next line. George, what kind of place is Sogakishi?
I'm not sure. I've never been, so I wouldn't really know, but according to the maps, it's in the mountains. I'm pretty sure it was at the base of Mount Alsama.
Huh. Something doesn't really sit right with me here. Aren't puzzles for the hiding places of treasures meant to be a bit more exact? I get the feeling we're barking up the wrong tree with Sogakishi. I don't know about that. Sogakishi looks pretty suspicious to me. There might be some house there that we just don't know about, that grandfather lived in when he was a kid. I mean, the first line did go on about his beloved home of old. Shannon, grandfather has you pouring drinks and stuff for him a lot, right? Haven't you ever been made to listen to stories about his past?
The master almost never speaks of his past. However, I've heard him speak of the great Kanto earthquake that almost destroyed the Ushirian family as though it had nothing to do with him. So he may have been living far away from the Kanto area. The Ushirian main family may have been living in Odawara, but the branch families weren't limited to that. Grandfather often called himself a branch family of a branch family, and the least connected to the succession, after all.
So in other words, the beloved home of old might not even be in Odawara at all. I've never even asked about grandfather's old home. He probably wouldn't give it away if he did.
If the so-called beloved home of old isn't referring to the Ushimiya family's roots, then the Odawara theory is wrong from the beginning. Of course, this doesn't remove all possibility of a Sogakishi. For example, he could have lived in Odawara when he was very young, but moved far away later. Ooh, I don't get what you're talking about. Ooh.
Mari had been completely left out of the conversation, and now she sat puffing out her cheeks in boredom. Well, basically, if we can't decide where to start for the golden game of chutes and ladders, we can't even begin to play. But wait, in the first 5 lines, the thing we're searching for is a key, right? You can enter a door even without a key just by busting through it. Can't we just throw away the first 5 lines and start figuring out the rest? Oh, I didn't think of that. Well, we're just killing time anyway. Let's hear the rest of your reasoning.
But in the next part, it becomes very disturbing.
Shannon frowned slightly. After looking back at Maria's notebook to recall what was written there, I have to agree. On the first twilight, sacrifice the 6 chosen by the key. It does get horrible quickly. On the second twilight, it says tear apart the 2 who were close. Does that mean to make them break off their romance? Or tear them apart? I don't really know, but either way, it's pretty disgusting.
Even if we ignore the meaning of a second line, on the first twilight, it's 6 people, and on the 4th through 8th, that's 5. So at least 11 people become sacrifices. Ooh, sacrifices to revive Beatrice.
I see. Sacrifices to bring back the witch. I guess you could take it that way. As a result, the witch revives on the 9th twilight. That last part's glorious.
Oh, on the 9th twilight, the witch revives and none shall be left alive. So everyone dies in the end anyway.
And then, it got to the goal finally being reached on the 10th twilight that follows. Not sure how anyone shall reach the Golden Land if everyone's dead.
It seems to allow for different interpretations as to whether or not the traveler who holds the key would be included in the none shall be left alive part.
But there's something pretty interesting written at the end. The lines about how after reaching the goal, 4 treasures will be given by the witch. 1 shall be all the gold. The problem is the next one. It says she'll resurrect all the dead people's souls, right? Doesn't it seem like this refers to everyone that died in the earlier lines?
If you put it like that, the next one, the part about even reviving the love they possessed, that might be referring to the pair torn apart on the second twilight.
That's right.
And the 4th one refers to the 9th twilight. The 4th treasure is putting the witch revived on the 9th twilight back to sleep again.
If we interpret it favorably. It's hectic with people dying and being broken up, but it's all made well in the end. The awakened witch once again sleeps, and all that's left is plenty of gold. The witch must have had her hands full with all this killing, reviving, breaking up, and reuniting. Not to mention waking up and sleeping. Oh well. Just when the tale of the hidden gold is getting interesting, as soon as the witch's story is tied in, it quickly gets pretty shady. No kidding. I laughed along with Jessica. After all, a witch was just ridiculous. Of course, once we started laughing like that, Maria, who believed in witches, got angry.
Ooh, witches are awesome! They can do anything with magic. Even kill. Even bring back to life. Even give love and take it. Can fly in the sky, become invisible, can even make golden bread out of nothing. Ooh, ooh.
Oh no. That's my bad. I was just joking. Jessica apologized, sticking out her tongue, but Maria didn't accept it. She grabbed her notebook back out of my hands and opened to other pages, trying to prove that witches existed. Those pages had colored illustrations of witches drawn on them, and conveyed the fantastical image Maria had of witches as well. They weren't depicted as the normal sinister, crooked-nosed hags flying about, but as dreamlike people with mysterious powers who could do anything and wore beautiful dresses. Just what you would expect from an imaginative young girl. Dancing through the sky, crossing a rainbow, dancing all around all night, with magical teacups and teapots that would never get empty no matter how much you poured out of them. With a flourish of their wands, the stars in the sky would become candy and pour down, and flowers that produced sweets would bud by the roadside. To Maria, witches were the sole thing that could give form to magical dreams that so captivated her. The last thing enriching her reality, which revealed more and more of its bland nature to her with every inch she grew. That was why Maria believed in witches. She didn't want that dream to be insulted. And for that very reason, nor did she want the epitaph, which affirmed the existence of witches, to be insulted. Because the witch Beatrice is Maria's dream.
To Maria. This isn't something that points to the hiding place of gold, but magic to revive the witch.
So was the single bridge between Maria and that witch. Maria was very angry and clung to George on the key. Jessica and I scratched our heads and apologized. It might not be possible to smooth things over again like the time she got mad in front of the portrait.
I'm sorry to bother you guys. I'm gonna
Maria didn't want to be easily consoled. And, as Jessica and I hung our heads, wondering what we could do, Shannon timidly opened her mouth in our place.
Maria, did you know? There's a ghost story about Beatrice-sama that's been passed down among the servants.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. Shannon, tell us about it. I don't really know, but it's apparently pretty famous amongst us the servants. What's this? A ghost story?
Yes. It seems it's a story from before we were born. I also heard it from my mother. Yes. It's been passed down since the mansion was built on the island. The servants of that time whispered that the mansion had 2 masters, one of the day and one of the night.
The tale that Shannon told was like the typical campfire ghost story. If there was a forest with a witch living inside it, then inevitably the witch was going to pay the mansion a visit. At some point, this ghost story naturally sprouted up between the servants. Doors and windows, they were sure they'd shut or locked, would be open when they came around to double check. Lights they definitely turned off would be on, and lights they definitely turned on would be off. Things would disappear from where they'd been placed, and appear when no one had any memory of putting them there. When any of these things happened, the old servants would say the witch had visited the mansion, invisible, and played pranks.
Ooh, see, she exists. Beatrice exists.
Yeah, she exists. I remember often being unable to find my bag before heading to school. Maria puffed out her chest with a new ooh, as though this was the final proof the witch existed. If I said it out loud, Maria would probably be hurt again, so I didn't, but... I mean, you hear that kind of story everywhere. Depending on the place, it might be blamed on fairies or something. It's just that, on this island, they call them witches. Of course, you would expect that walking around a vast, elegant mansion at night would be a little unsettling. It's an island devoid of people. Since the mansion is so drafty, walking around on the night of a thunderstorm would certainly be eerie.
In addition, some servants have also seen will-o'-the-wisps and glittering butterflies dancing around. Canon-kun also said he saw something like that when he went patrolling one night. And recently, the servants have been talking about strange footsteps inside the mansion near midnight. We've whispered together that Beatrice-sama from the portrait sometimes makes herself invisible and walks through the mansion. It happened a long time ago, but I've also heard those kinds of footsteps while patrolling at night.
Huh. That's scary.
But there's nothing to be afraid of, you know. Beatrice is another ruler of this mansion separate from the master, so she won't do anything bad as long as you respect her and don't act oddly afraid.
However, she's fearsome if you don't respect her, right?
That's right. I heard someone who quit just before I began working after falling down the stairs and receiving a large injury to their back had been speaking badly of Beatrice-sama. Because of that, there was a rumor between the servants that Beatrice's anger had been brought down upon this person.
Ooh, anger will definitely be brought down on Battler and Jessica. Ooh.
I'm sorry. I don't want any anger to be brought down on me. I apologize, Maria. I, of course, apologize to the witch as well. I'm sorry, Beatrice. Please forgive an outsider's nonsense. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry, Beatrice. Will the witch be able to forgive us?
Ooh, don't know. Witches are fickle, so they don't forgive. So they forgive when they forgive and don't when they don't. Ooh,
that's not good. Maria, is there some kind of charm that could prevent Battler and Jessica from having Beatrice-sama's anger brought down upon them? Maybe something to ward off magic. By relying on Maria, who was proud of knowing the most about witches, George was trying to revive her self-esteem. I was once again forced to admire his ability to comfort children. After crossing her arms and pondering seriously as to whether there was some charm capable of protecting Jessica and myself from the witch's wrath, Maria began flipping through the pages of her handbook. I had thought it was just a simple scribbled diary, but it turned out that there were many pages that looked like they'd come from a book on black magic. She was intently comparing several such pages, onto which had been copied that which looked like magic with circles. It looked like that black magic hobby wasn't limited to grandfather alone. Perhaps she'd finished her research. She vigorously closed the book with a snap, threw it into her handbag, and began fishing around that bag's contents. It seemed that various jumbled up things were in there. For a while, she continued to take out various pieces of junk, although they were probably important magical items to her. And then repeatedly threw them back in, saying they were wrong. It looked a little humorous, like Santa Claus deliberating over which present to give. Finally, it seemed that she'd excavated what she was looking for. With a face unimaginably brighter than the difficult expression she'd worn until now,
She stuck them out to Jessica and me.
Ooh.
As I reached out to grab it, I noticed it was a very cheap-looking charm. It looked like a bracelet made from a plastic rosary, with a scorpion motif medal attached. I mean, you often find these kind of cheap accessories that correspond to the constellations. Felt like a gift you might win at a crane game at an arcade. It really looked like something like that. There were two of them. Probably one for me and one for Jessica. However, considering the odd fact that there were two of them, they looked like cheap manufactured goods. And it was quite hard to think of them as magical items. You're giving these to me and Battler?
Ooh. With these charms, even Beatrice is no problem. Because the scorpion has the power to block magic.
Huh? Really? I didn't think scorpions could do that.
Ooh, Battler doesn't believe. Ooh.
I'd inflamed Maria again because I said too much. Maria took out her notebook again and turned and pointed to a page after page, going on and on about how the scorpion has holy power and had been drawn on magic-repelling magic circles since ancient times.
I heard about that from some other young servants. Something about how the scorpion is drawn as a magic-repelling symbol in sorcery.
Really?
Ooh, the scorpion protects against bad magic and disasters. An emerald brings peace to the heart, so has double the effect. Ooh, it's true. The scorpion is wrapping around an emerald, protecting it. I see. That seems very useful.
I really want to make fun of this worthless-looking charm, but as I watched Maria explain the charm with all her heart and realized she'd prepared them out of consideration for us, it felt as though, even if it were just a little prize from a game center, it might still be beneficial. Material quality isn't what's important about charms. It's the strength of the feelings behind them. I'd like to think I have enough respect for myself to not make fun of those. Alright, thanks. I apologize to Beatrice-sama, but even in the worst case, when I'm cursed, I'll be safe thanks to your charms. Right, Jessica? Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Maria.
Ooh, wear it on your arm when you want a peaceful heart. Put it on your wallet. Your money won't go down. If you hang it from a doorknob, bad things can't get in. A really useful charm. What an incredible effect. If it is a charm that Maria can recommend with confidence, then I'm sure it will be reliable.
As Shannon tapped her hand together lightly, Maria stuck out her chest. She was completely cheered up again. If it would keep her in this good of a mood, it would probably be worth it to let Maria lead the discussion for a bit longer. When you think about it, she hadn't shared in our excitement when we talked about the gold's hidden location, so I think she'd gotten a little bored. While eating the cookies Kumasawa had baked, Jessica and I asked Maria about that black magic. Maria happily chatted away in response to our question. For each one, George, Aniki, and Shannon would act surprised and agree with everything she said. The color of the clouds and the sky grew progressively heavier, but the cousins really enjoyed communicating freely after 1 year of separation. Did I feel a drop on my forehead? What? Well, you might have. As George rubbed his forehead, he looked up at the sky. Considering the color of the sky and the dampness of the air, raindrops could easily have started falling down at any moment. It also seemed like the wind had gotten a little stronger.
Ooh, I didn't feel a drop. I'm the only one. Ooh.
Calm down, I didn't either. Anyway, I'm sure it'll rain so much tonight that everyone will get the same amount of raindrops. That's right. Maybe we should head back soon. Shannon looked at her watch. It may have already been well into evening. Time to get back to work already?
Yes. I enjoyed this time I spent together with you all.
Thank you very much. Tell Kumasawa thanks for the cookies. Alright, everyone. Help out with the cleanup. Shannon declined our help, saying this was a servant's job. But picking up a dropped fork before the waitress has is like my purpose in life. We folded up the blanket to gathered up the trash and helped clean everything up.
Ooh, the trash is getting away. Ooh.
Oh no, it isn't. I'll grab it before you do.
Ooh, I'm gonna get it. Ooh.
Maria, don't get your shoes wet. You'll get in trouble. To Maria, chasing after some trash that the strong winds had sent flying away was just like an extension of our playtime. By the time we finished cleaning up, the wind had started blowing very strongly. It looked like a good chance to head back.
You all really helped me out. Thank you very much.
It really looks like you're out of time. It's alright if you want to head back first. Georgianiki perceived from her hurried appearance that very little of her free time was left. Genji's very rigorous about time. If you aren't at the right place at the right time, he can be very strict.
We'll see you later. Do your best with your work. Yes. Then if you'll excuse me.
After making a respectful bow, Shannon hurried off in the direction of the rose garden. Alright, let's head back to the guest house. We can watch TV or something and relax a little.
Ooh, watch TV. Watch TV.
Well then, it's decided. Let's all head back and watch TV together. Even Maria, who was still not tired of playing, agreed when she thought about watching TV. We headed up the gentle stairs and returned to the rose garden. The wind had become very strong, and roses shook through the garden like ripples on water. This might be our last chance to see the beautiful roses. Tonight's typhoon is sure to ruin them. These roses might be done in by tonight's winds. Yeah, I'd say they were lucky though. After all, they got to welcome all of you before the typhoon.
A flower will always lose its petals at some point. However, because of that, we can admire them even more when they're in bloom.
That's right. Maria, burn this image into your eyes. At this moment, they're the best roses of the year.
Ooh, burned into eyes.
Right then, Maria suddenly clapped her hands. It looked like she'd remembered something.
My rose. The typhoon will send it flying. Ooh.
No, you mean the unhealthy rose Georgianiki marked? It seemed Maria remembered where the rose was. She ran at full speed. The rest of us followed.
Ooh. Ooh.
Where was it again? I'm sure it was somewhere around here. We searched everywhere around the area, but after all, it was only a single flower amongst all these roses. Even though we knew it was somewhere close by, it wasn't proving easy to find. The winds that made the front lines of the typhoon were making the roses throughout the garden undulate. It was almost like it was teasing us by making the location of Maria's rose impossible to find.
Maybe it wasn't here. Let's try spreading out.
Sounds good. Let's go for strength in numbers. What? What's up, Maria? As we made to split up and search, Maria tugged on my jacket with an unhappy face. It felt like her intention was to stop us from going to another place. What is it? What happened?
Ooh, my rose is here. It's here.
But it's not, right? Maybe it was on the other side of a flower bed. If we all look, we'll find it fast.
Ooh, it's here. My rose is here. Look for it. Look for it. Ooh.
Maria stomped her feet in irritation. She was pointing out a spot, saying it was definitely there, yet it actually wasn't. And yet, if we went to go search elsewhere, she got mad. We were at a loss for what to do. For a while, we would have to stay with Maria and pretend to search through this rose thicket.
Ooh, Ooh, not here. Not here, not here. Ooh.
Maybe she's saying it should be here, but it isn't. Maria became increasingly ill-tempered. Oh man, Maria's really losing it. Maria sometimes starts to really care about really pointless things. If she gets what she wants, it's alright, but you can't find something that's not there. It's not good. Just as we were starting to despair for a way out of the situation, Maria shouted out loudly,
Mama! Ooh!
In the direction she was waving her hand, Auntie Rosa's figure was visible. Maybe she wanted to look at the garden one more time before the typhoon came. Or maybe she had some business at the guest house. Auntie Rosa was coming from the mansion. She quickly noticed her daughter's voice and came over.
Oh my, what happened, everyone? Are you looking for something? Look for it! Mama, look for my rose! Ooh! Your rose? We found an unhealthy rose around here and marked it.
We tied a candy wrapper or something around it. Pretty tight. But Maria, if I remember correctly, it was growing right in the front and really stood out, right? Unless it grew legs and ran off somewhere, it must have been somewhere else. Aren't you just remembering it wrong?
Ooh, it is here! It is here! Battler doesn't believe. Ooh. For the umpteenth time, will you please stop that ooh-ooh noise? Mama will look for it, so stay quiet.
I was a little surprised to see Auntie Rosa, who I'd only ever seen as gentle, get angry. Auntie Rosa began searching as well, so we went along with her for the time being. But we were already more than sure it wasn't around here. And so Auntie Rosa also realized very quickly that it wasn't here.
The rose isn't here. Did you maybe mistake this place for somewhere else? There are so many roses around. Ooh, ooh, that's wrong. It is here. Mama doesn't believe. Ooh. I do believe you, and that's why I'm searching. But it isn't here. Ooh, but it is. It's here, but it isn't. Ooh. Then someone must have ripped it out. Just stop whining. Ooh. Who ripped out my rose? Who? Give it back. Give it back. Ooh. Ooh. How should I know? Stop it. Stop whining.
Auntie Rosa slapped Maria's left cheek with her palm. For that instant, Maria was shocked into silence. Of course, it was only for an instant. When Maria realized her wish was being rejected, before it could even be fulfilled, she started yelling with an increasingly louder voice.
Ooh, ooh, my rose, my rose, ooh, ooh. Didn't I tell you to stop with that weird habit? That's why all the kids in your class make fun of you. Cut it out!
Once again, her palm slapped Maria's cheek. This time, she didn't go silent. She choked as she started crying and began to bawl in an increasingly louder voice. Auntie Rosa was clearly irritated and lifted her hand once more to try and shut her daughter up. Auntie Rosa, she's just a kid, right? There's no reason to get so serious. I attempted to intervene with a forced smile and my hands clasped together. But the deadly serious look I was thrown by Auntie Rosa taught me quickly that I shouldn't butt in.
I'm sorry. Would you all return to your room for a little while? Your auntie needs to have a little talk with Maria. Ooh, no one believes in my rose, even though it was here. Ooh, look for it. Look for it. Here, it was here. Ooh, but it isn't. You must be confusing it with somewhere else, mustn't you? Ooh, it's here. It's definitely here. Ooh. Then it disappeared. Give it up. Why? Why did my rose disappear? Why? Ooh. I don't know that. Stop saying ooh.
Auntie Rosa once again raised her hand and, overrun by emotions, slapped Maria's cheek. It was so strong it knocked Maria over. Hey, Auntie Rosa, even if she's your daughter, you shouldn't be violent like that. I stepped between them to protect Maria, who was still on the ground crying ooh ooh. I know that problems between parents and child are none of my business as an outsider, but I wasn't brought up to just silently observe something like this.
Don't you think it's weird, Battler? Do you have any girls at your school that still mutter ooh ooh?
Well, I'm in high school, but for an elementary schooler, I think saying ooh ooh is pretty cute.
Cute? Saying ooh ooh is cute? Cute?
It seemed that my reckless words had brought Auntie Rose's wrath down on me. She grabbed my collar with a terrifying expression.
Don't say such nonsense! Do you know how old Maria is? She's 9! She's a 4th grader, you know. She's not a kindergartner, and even so, she still says ooh ooh during her class. Do you get it? This kid, do you know what they say about her when they bully her? Thanks to this weird habit, she still hasn't made even a single friend! Don't turn your eyes away from reality and recklessly call Maria cute! Think much more seriously about this kid's future! Ooh, 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 ooh. I told you to stop saying ooh! Didn't I tell you to stop it?
Auntie Rosa struck Maria's quivering head, from which an increasingly unsatisfied voice was rising. I tried to stop her, but she thrust me away. My back collided with George.
A long time ago, Auntie Rosa also thought of it as nothing more than one of Maria-chan's baby words. But now she's midway through elementary school, so the fact that it hasn't been fixed has bothered her a lot recently.
It's not like it matters what kind of words she uses.
You can't become a proper member of society like that. So even though it's not a pleasant scene to watch, this is a problem between mother and child.
Well, my mom always has given me hell about how I talk too. If you look at it that way, maybe an outsider shouldn't interfere with this, even though it's painful to watch.
Butler, didn't you ever have a bad habit as a kid that you couldn't fix that got you into trouble?
1 or 2. On Parents' Day, I got a huge telling off in front of everyone. It was so embarrassing I couldn't stand it.
Well then, you can understand how Mari is feeling right now. I'm sure she doesn't want us to be here. Do you understand as well, Jessica?
I don't think anyone likes to be seen when they're being punished.
Let's go. Let's return to the guest house. Then, after Maria comes back, let's welcome her as if nothing happened. It's probably for the best, right?
We thought George Anaki's point of view was probably correct. And if we could use that correct sounding reason to justify our retreat from this painful scene, that was probably enough for us. Jessica and I nodded at George Anaki and we all left. We called towards Maria that we were going to head to the guest house. But since it didn't seem to reach her ears, we felt guilty and shameless even saying it.
In that case, look by yourself as much as you want. Mama doesn't care. Ooh, look for it. I'll look for it by myself. Look for it even if Mama doesn't care. Ooh, 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 ooh. Have it your way.
After blasting her with those last few words, Rosa spun on her heels and quickly returned to the mansion. Maria probably viewed that as a cold, hurtful gesture. But from Rosa's perspective, it was not her intention. It was because her hand, which had so emotionally struck Maria's cheek was still numb. It was because if she stayed there screaming, she might again be taken over by her emotions and continue slapping her daughter's cheek over and over. After Rosa left, only Maria was left in the rose garden all alone. The wind began to blow stronger and stronger, and every once in a while, a raindrop would fall on her forehead. However, Maria would not leave that place. Not until she found that poor withering rose. It had definitely been there, and yet it wasn't. Even though she knew the place, and even though this was it wasn't there. Maria, while bitterly staring at the place it was supposed to be, thought frantically. Maybe the angle I'm looking at is wrong. Maybe the height I'm looking from is wrong. While gazing at a single point, Maria repeatedly changed her position and continued to stare. The wind was getting increasingly stronger, but Maria kept looking for that rose in front of the flower bed. Kinzo noticed the sound of the raindrops beating on the window. It had finally started to rain. It had begun later than the weather report had predicted. Kinzo, as if being summoned by the sound of the rain, approached the windows. The sound of the rain is a sound of silence. That sound feels quieter than any silence. And it makes humans remember that, in the end, they are alone from when they are born to when they die. "You're late, Beatrice." Were those words directed at the rainy sky? No one could be seen in the direction of Kinzo's gaze. "So, shall we begin our banquet of miracles? In this very moment, this island has been cut off from the world. There are none who can interrupt my ritual. There are many fitting sacrifices for you, for my children, 3 of their companions, for my grandchildren, me and my guests and my servants. You may eat up as many as you please. The key of fate will select the sacrifices in accordance with the demon's roulette. If that roulette chooses me, even I will become your sacrifice. However, because of that, because I will bet on that madness, I will definitely create a grand miracle. Come, devour as much as you wish. I will overcome that roulette. Yes, I will put everything on the line. First, I will return the headship of the Ushiramiya family. Take it!" As Kinzo violently opened the window, he ripped the golden ring from his finger and forcefully threw it away. At that moment, thunder resounded, giving the illusion that lightning had accepted the ring. "And when you are resurrected, it will be me who stands there. I will live until the end and watch over you as you awaken. Now come, Beatrice. Welcome to my banquet. In exchange for all I've created, show me a miracle one final time. Oh, Beatrice!" Alright, that's another chapter down. We got a little more on the epitaph and then some very fun Rosa Maria interactions. This next chapter is called Letter and Umbrella. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. And they cry.
Stop.